All right. What's up, y'all? How are you guys doing today, man? I hope everyone had a great day. If you guys don't know, we are at a point where we are in the second month. Again, when it comes to our quarters, we're in the first quarter. But what we are looking and should be looking to do is basically making our priority perfecting our income stream to the point where we're profiting at least a decent amount. I don't think that right now, if you're a reseller or someone trying to build a business, that you're going to have all the answers, obviously. But I do think that you should be selling products in some fashion and making some type of progress. And we're going to be talking about that today. Now, when it comes to Hustler Taught Me, I actually did something and I think I messed up. Hustler Taught Me live. So yeah, I don't think I'm live on Hustler Taught Me though. I don't think I'm live on Hustler Taught Me. If I am live on Hustler Taught Me, I messed up. I did something and I messed up. I must yeah, and I don't know how to fix it. So we're gonna just rock with Educated Hustler right now, okay? Just rocking with Educated Hustler right now. Unfortunately, I think I messed up. So, yeah, that's that. All right, now, what we're going to be talking about today is I'm going to be doing a little rundown on reselling. I want to actually touch some points such as taxes, but also how you could be making your first $1,000 reselling. And of course, I don't want to paint any picture that doesn't exist. Therefore, I'm going to
build a website you love.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to make sure that I maintain the visuals for you. So let me actually get that up. All right, I got a slideshow that I'm gonna show you guys. This will help you guys stay with me. We're not gonna make this an extra long live, but it is gonna be an informative one. If you're watching me on TikTok, what's up? All right. Let me pull up the slide. And then we'll just do it this way. I'm so upset that I really messed up the other live. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. Shout out to everyone on Twitch. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys check out my Twitch. It's educated _ hustler on there as well. All right, let me pull this up. All right, so the reselling reality check. What is that? So what we're gonna have to do is we need to start extracting what's real and what's fake. What is propaganda and what is also expectation does not necessarily mean you will get it, especially if you're not moving towards having the right compound behaviors and best practices that will make you the results that you are hoping to get, right? So if you're somebody out there looking to become a reseller, but at the same time, you're not trying to spend time researching on products or even spend time going to the post office, obviously it's not going to work. But I want to make this really, really clear. And I've been making this my message this whole entire time. There needs to be a big reality check for all resellers that think all they got to do is sell products online. I think that one of the biggest hurdles I was having personally was making money online until I actually went out and started selling products to people, like real live people at flea markets, where I could actually see what products impressed people and also what products people didn't want, right? That taught me a lot. What's up, Sin? How are you? What's up? What's up? It really taught me a lot. And I think that a lot of us, we kind of sleep on the fact that we do need to, in fact, go out. You do. You need to get your ass up and you need to go out and you need to resell. Facts, okay? It's the only reality, all right? Now, why most resellers fail? It's not lack of sales. It's not lack of structure. Well, it is lack of structure, but it's not lack of structure when it comes to your job, when it comes to your family. It's really all mental. And what I mean by structure mentally, it's all about your priorities. What do you put first? Are you holding yourself accountable? Are you actually working towards hitting metrics? I think a lot of us, we do wake up with the intentions to become better, but we don't even have any type of numbers to hold ourselves accountable, to have some type of scale. By the end of the day, you should know exactly what numbers you hit and what you didn't. I'll give you a good example. If I wanted to list 30 products on all listings or all platforms, excuse me, and I only did 19, I know for a fact I didn't execute. Maybe I had to help my kid with their homework, or maybe I got held up at the gym. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You still did not do what you said you were going to do. And these are like the type of metrics that you need to actually hold yourself accountable for, especially if you want to actually start reselling and making money. And that's, see, contrary to digital products and a whole bunch of other side hustles, right, or businesses people are preaching, when it comes to physical products, you actually need to make sure that you know profit margin, you know what you actually have in stock, you know what your inventory count is. You have to actually monitor and do some work. And that's why a lot of people try and shit on reselling and having physical products, because it's actually something that requires you to do something, do work, right? I'm not here to tell you how to get rich quick. Let's get that out the way, right? So resellers, they do lack structure mentally. Taxes get in the way as well. Account bans get in the way as well. Bad sourcing, which I had a poll on my community post on Educated Hustler, and I asked what was really getting in the way of a lot of people. And a lot of people, what's up, TJ? What's up? What's up? Welcome, man. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. A lot of people were saying they're having trouble sourcing products, like physical products, right? They don't know what is a good product to source. And a lot of it is you don't know how to actually look it up. You have a bunch of ways. You can use eBay. You can use platforms like Amazon to see what's selling. But you can also use Google Trends. Google Trends is a platform I probably visit maybe twice a week, looking at what is selling, what's not. Valentine's Day is coming up, right? But I was already listing for Valentine's Day January 4th, right? It's just all about understanding that trends don't actually happen in moments. It happens before the moments are predicted to come, right? And lastly, being scared. A lot of people are scared because a lot of people don't and won't feel comfortable putting a lot of time, effort, and sacrificing for something where they don't know the outcome. And that's the difference between a successful person and a person that isn't successful as well. Is the successful person is willing to fail trying to succeed. Person that isn't successful at that income or selling those products, they're too wrapped in results, right? They want the results to speak and keep them motivated. They're essentially results driven, and results driven people never, ever, ever end up lasting throughout the race, because you're not always going to get the results, right? Sometimes it's going to take longer than what you anticipate, but you got to be able to be consistent no matter what your results are currently. All right. People don't lose money. They lose accounts. And that is a big problem for a lot of resellers, is they get distracted, discouraged, and also some depressed, including myself, when platforms such as eBay get taken away, Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace. These platforms are what you rely on. And as a reseller, if you're relying on these platforms to make you money, that's okay, right? But if you're feeling as though these platforms are your business, that's where a problem exists, because eBay, they are not yours. If somebody buys a product, including you, from Amazon or eBay, and somebody says, hey, where you get that from? Most people are going to say, what? I got it from where? Amazon, right? They're not going to say, I got it from user 3685, right? They're going to say they got it from Amazon. You represent that brand at that time. You are allowed to sell on the platform, but it's not your platform. So never get too comfortable. Always try to drive consumers to your own platform where you actually have control. That is why I'm such against drop shipping, because I know for a fact how not having control in a business could actually lead you to be broke. It also could lead you to lose everything that you built. If you don't have control of something, but you build it up to be something, and you actually can't dictate how you're going to send messaging to your customer, or even if you're able to list or when you're able to list. I'll give you a good example. Having an eBay store that does 10K in sales a month is great. But what happens when eBay is the main source of income? That's how you're paying your bills, but you slip up and list the wrong thing with the wrong keyword or tag word and eBay restricts you and suspends you for 14 days. Then you got 14 days with no bread. And then if you got 14 days with no money, you end up being stuck. And that's when you have a reality check of, oh my God, eBay, I hate them. I need to start selling on another platform. But it's really not that. It's just the fact that you didn't drive those customers off of that platform to your own platform for you to be able to control and always have a backup plan. I think that when I sit down with people that own businesses that I look up to, a lot of the times what they have are I would just say they have a forward thinking mind. Like they always are ahead of what the possibilities that could go wrong are, right? They always have another plan, okay? The tax and ban reality check. Let's start with that, okay? Platforms treat you like a business. They do. Money equals reporting. Reporting equals rules. The second money hits your account, you're no longer just hustling. And I think that it's important nowadays for me to really talk more about taxes and about the business, because I think a lot of influencers or content creators don't even talk about this. They don't talk about the money. Like they don't talk about, hey, yeah, I'm showing you my Shopify store and I got 6 figures, but how much am I actually taking home? Also, what are my tax write-offs? Also, what expenses do I have to actually consistently pay to maintain this profit? People don't talk about it. All right. Now, 1099K. Now, I know people know what a 1099 is. When I hire somebody, I'm always going to hire them as a 1099. I would never hire anybody as a W-2 unless I have a certain business structure that I don't currently have. A 1099 is an independent contractor. It's somebody that's basically going to be a person that you pay, right? Like, let's say I got an employee and I'm paying them from basically 1099 status. One, I got to have my accountant draw up a paper. The accountant's going to draw that paper up. It's going to make that person agree to taking all of their wage instead of me giving them partial and then giving the rest to the IRS. And what happens is they have to pay taxes at the end of the year. So when it comes to side hustles are essentially where you get paid all of the money, and then at the end of the year, you need to pay the taxes that you owe the IRS. So people that have Shopify's, Wix, and all of these different website platforms and hostings, excuse me. It's funny how a lot of these drop shippers that you guys watch, I want you to go ahead and pull up a video where they show you how they one, I want you to show me a video where they're actually giving you a link to their website. 2, I want you to show me a video where they're actually telling you how to do the taxes on those sites that they're talking about they make 6 figures on. I also want to show, I want you guys to find me a video where that same person or another drop shipper, or even a digital product seller, right? Where do they have videos where they talk about a 1099K? When and where, how, what? No, it's mainly videos talking about buy my course this and buy my course that and join this community and join that, right? They don't really talk about the 1099K. Did you know that if you are selling on eBay right now, you need a 1099K? Or not you need it, it actually already exists, but you need to make sure you have a copy for yourself. Did you know that? Did you know that that's how they actually can tell the IRS how much money you've made and how much money you owe? Did you know that? Well, see, the reason a lot of people don't talk about it, I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of people don't even know. Because all of these people that are creating these false expectations and false dreams are not really making the income necessary to file 1099Ks. But I'll break it down for you, right? Your income is always reported whether you like it or not. eBay, Mercari, PayPal, Stripe, Beacon, Stand Store, schools, all of those platforms, they process 1099Ks for you, okay? You don't avoid taxes by ignoring them. This is something I had to learn. Why accounts get banned? Let's move forward. Bad habits, not bad luck. Velocity kills more accounts than bad products. Restricted items, copy and paste listings, no invoices, and moving too fast. So I put these 4 key points because restricted items are items like product cologne, replicas, anything imitating a brand that it actually isn't. That's why, like I tell you guys all the time, I sell products that are generic, that don't have logos, not because I'm trying to sell fake products, which people that I see commenting under stories and under videos and shorts, They be like, oh my God, you're selling fake stuff. You should be ashamed of yourself. Shut your ass up. Shut your ass up. And the reason I said it is because you don't walk into Target and slap the manager of the Target because they selling on brand. O-N-N. Yeah, O-N. I'll show you. It's the on brand. I think it's the O-N-N, right? I ain't tripping. The O-N-N brand. Oh, that's Walmart. So you don't slap you don't go to your nearest Walmart and slap the manager that literally is, look, this ain't they headphones. I just want to let you know that. This is, they get off of AliExpress, DHgate, Alibaba, and then put their own packaging on. Facts. But guess what? They have made these products their own brand, which they have licensed and copyrighted, and now they are selling this product. It's the same thing. But see, with a lot of resellers, what it is they don't have enough money to create their own packaging, to build their own brand, copyright, to handle those issues, so they just sell it without any brand or logo on it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, though. I think that's really important for people to understand. It's Walmart, Target, ShopRite, all of these places, and I think Walmart's food brand is Great Value, I believe. Right? But again, you go ahead and get the seasoning salt, right? But then next to the seasoning salt is a unbranded product of seasoning salt that's exactly the same thing as the Lowry salt. It's the same thing. There's no difference. But trying to sell Lowry salt with the Lowry salt logo is restricted. That ain't gonna work. Next, copy and pasting listings. So what I say is Frankenstein listings, which is copy with working with one and then maybe a description from another. But some people literally would copy and paste listings that don't even work, and that hurts them because I had a student that did this. Right, what he would do is he would look for products that sold and he would just copy the full thing, every detail. One day, he comes to us and he's like, "Hey, I'm about to be sued." I'm like, "What you mean you finna be sued?" He like, "This person's gonna sue me because I'm selling using their brand and I didn't even realize it. Can you help me?" So we like, let's look at the post. So we go and look at his listing, and yeah, he is using the person's brand, but we ended up sending emails to this person, letting them know that the student had backing, right? And we wanted to see the paperwork of the copyright for the brand this guy was selling on, and he couldn't provide it, right? And the reason I say that is because if you are copy and pasting listings, you are going to get threats eventually if you're getting sales, okay? You're going to get threats. And when you get these threats, it's really important for you not to be scared, not to allow people to intimidate you. People will try to intimidate you, but a lot of them don't have any jurisdiction over their own brands because they're too lazy and not making enough money to actually really copyright, okay? No invoices. This is a big one. A lot of you guys that sell on sell on eBay or Mercari or Poshmark or any of these platforms, you know what I'm about to talk about. Invoices. So, have you ever made enough money on any of these sites where they actually email you and say, "Hey, we're happy that you're selling, but we need invoices. We just need to verify where you get these products from." You want to know why they do that? Because they have to report to the IRS how you are actually making this money, basically. Like, eBay, we see that you got this person making X amount of money. Have you did your correct process to verify and make sure that this person is legitimate? That's why eBay restricts accounts. That's why eBay asks for certain information. It's because when we don't actually put ourselves in a position to inspect what we expect even ourselves with the products, an AliExpress, a DHgate, or just some random receipt from a Shopify store will not work as an invoice. Okay? You need a legitimate invoice from a supplier. And let me tell you why your invoice failed. Because a lot of people, they'll ask me this. They're like, why I provided that invoice to eBay, but they still took my account. Well, what happens is a lot of times because it happened to me. When you give them the invoice, they want the product to be what the product is listed as on your eBay. So if you were selling AirPod reps and then you're like, yo, dang, eBay asking for an invoice. All right, bet. I'm just going to give them this invoice, and then you just give them a random invoice from AliExpress that say ANC-0156K, and that's the pods. They're going to look at that and they're going to say, well, this is not anything we can actually verify. And then what they're going to do is still take your account. You got to make sure you have the right, proper invoices, okay? Next, moving too fast. We all do this, man. I do it myself. I move too fast sometimes. And when you're moving too fast, you're setting yourself up for failure because you're bound to make a mistake. Okay, accounts first, money second. Now, I want you guys to remember what I said. Account first, money second. I want you to remember that because the account is an asset. Treat it like one. This is a hard reality for a lot of people. See, you know, a lot of people pay me to help them get their eBays unbanned. But like, if they would have actually treated their eBay like an asset off the rip, they would have never needed me to unban their eBay or help them get unbanned, right? A lot of us, what we do is we don't really appreciate the fact that we could make a bunch of money on this platform only if we abided by the rules. But a lot of people don't abide by the rules. A lot of people, including myself, we try to do little slick stuff that we know for a fact will probably make us money, but ain't going to get us ahead. Sorry, I had to check that. Ain't going to get us ahead where we need to be. Alan, what's up? Eli, what's up? So your Mercari, your eBay, your Amazon, all of that is an asset. Treat it like one. If you burn the account, the game is over. There's been plenty of times I've burnt accounts and I've never made the same amount of money on that platform. Most sourcing advice is trash. Private vendors, trash. Scammers. Guaranteed profit, trash. Lies. Just trust me, or hey, I've been doing this for so long and I'm going to show you how to do bullshit. Anybody can read, anybody can ask ChatGPT anything, anybody can come with the same bullshit that the next person can. At this point, it's more so about, is this person actually being authentic in their process when they're telling and giving you advice? There are so many people out here that are creating platforms, videos, selling you a course, and they ain't doing the shit they talking about. And I think that, you know, when it comes to drop shipping, it's a prime example. There's a lot of people that are, oh man, drop shipping just works so great. Well, show me the results. Show me a drop shipping store so I can learn how to structure mine. Well, you never leave the link to your drop shipping store because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You're too big. See, what it is you're not making money off of drop shipping. You're making money off of me becoming a Shopify user and you're getting paid from affiliate links. What it is you're not making money from AutoDS. You're making money from me signing up for AutoDS. It's like, I do a lot of research on my competition, and I tell you that all the time. And I see a lot of people, right? They'll be like, oh, sell the top 10 products to sell in February. Like, that's a really good recent one, right? They'll be like, hey, sell this, 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 and this. How the hell do you know what to sell in February when it's February 3rd? How the hell do you know that I should sell these products, right? Now, there are ways, trends, right? Because you can see what products are trending, what products are selling consistently, but show me that, tell me that. But they don't do that. What they try to do is they'll be like, all right, these are the top 10 products to sell. And the reason I say that is because this extension told me to. Well, how do I know that extension is telling legitimate information? I think the problem is a lot of resellers want to be successful so bad they just trust anybody. People in general, they want to make money so bad that they just trust anybody when they forget that they can get in front of this camera just like me. You can make an Instagram reel just like that person. Like, you could do the same exact thing that people like me are doing right now, and it all be a lie. That's a fact. So stop thinking based upon what you see and letting people create a dream for you, and actually use your common sense to see, okay, this person is saying they got a private vendor for AirPods. All right, bet. Now let me sit back and think about this for a second. He has a private vendor for AirPods. He's making 10K a month selling AirPods. But why is he telling me about the vendor that's helping him make money? Do you go to Walmart and get your milk and your eggs, and Walmart say, hey, by the way, on your receipt, we have every vendor that sold us these products just in case you need them? No, they don't, right? Like, they're selling it to you. So business 101 is supply demand, right? So if somebody actually had a real private vendor, they're not going to sell it to you for any amount. People ask me for my vendors all the time. I'll probably charge somebody $50K for my vendor. Like, why would I give somebody money? Why would I give somebody my vendor for money when I can give them products for money? Then how should we source or find products? Great question. So the way you source or find products right now, if I was a regular reseller, and I'm not going to plug my website in, wespoy.com. I'm not going to talk about my website though. If I was a regular reseller that didn't have my website, I'm looking on places like Alibaba. I probably would just stay with Alibaba. I wouldn't do DH Gate because they're so tainted and fake. There's too many influencers out here that are just affiliates of DH Gate, and they don't even sell or even use the products they're preaching. DH Gate is a good site, but what happens is they're known for the really low quality. Alibaba has mixed reviews, low quality, but it also has really good suppliers too. Some of the suppliers I use, they also have Alibabas too, right? So it's like I would source from platforms like really just Alibaba, to be completely real and honest with you, or a platform or a store that is in your area that sells wholesale. Like wespoy.com is my wholesale site, but it's also me trying to build so I can become like an Alibaba, right? And that's just me being honest, because I got tired of having that barrier of, oh, I gotta buy products straight from China and then wait 4 to 8 weeks for it to come, and then it be the wrong or damaged product. Then I'm stuck, right? So it's not that you can't source products because you need vendor lists. Vendor lists don't actually exist. There's no such thing as a vendor list. Like, I didn't get any of my suppliers that actually make me money from vendor lists. Like, anybody out there that honestly believes that they are going to be able to be successful using a vendor list, I'll give you a really good ass example. What is that business called? It's Boss Palace. Boss Palace. So, one, I met the founder of Boss Palace once, right? I did work with her, and it was a long time ago, before she actually really became a partner of Boss Palace. But the point I want to make is, Boss Palace used to be a platform for women, and it used to be a platform that gave women vendor lists for beauty products. Okay? The vendor lists that they were giving to women were straight from Alibaba. But here's the catch. The women were too lazy to actually go, and it wasn't just women, because I don't want to make it like a girl, guy thing. It was like the people, but it was really just beauty stuff. But they could have really got that if they just looked themselves. But what it was is convenience. So like, think about it like this. A vendor list is more so built for convenience rather than built for profit. And I'll show you that TikTok. I have my YouTube. It's Educated Hustler if you guys want to see the visual of what I'm doing. But I have it on videos on my channel where I'm showing you platforms like AutoDS are literally just selling resellers that subscribe to them for $20 or $29 a month, products straight from Amazon. There's not even products from Alibaba. Like, these are times where people are just taking advantage of people wanting things so quick and not doing research. Like, if you're somebody that is lazy, you're 100% being taken advantage of. And that's okay. People like me won't benefit off of a lazy ass person. Because a lazy ass person won't do the due diligence to actually do what I did, right? Like, you won't actually put in the research. You won't actually stay up past 10 p.m. working on your business because you feel like you got other shit to do. Or you don't want to actually sacrifice for your business. You want shit to be handed to you. And that's why you're in the situation you're in right now. Not because you ain't good enough. Not because you can't make shit happen. It's because you don't want to. Because you don't have the discipline to actually go the extra mile when you feel like you're tired. And that changed a lot of my perspective. I tell you guys, I sat down with somebody that they own a bunch of what's those places that you go to when you don't have a job but they find the jobs for you? Damn. They own a bunch of like they own a bunch of stores or whatever, businesses that find people jobs. And temp agencies. And the person basically was telling me that, because I was asking him how much he makes and how long he works. And he told me he works a lot. I'm not going to say everything he told me, but he was like, the way I stay motivated, and somebody watching this may need this for this week. He was like, the way I stay motivated, even when I know I'm, stretching myself out too much, is, hard work doesn't start until you're actually tired. Like, hard work doesn't actually count if you're willing to do it. And I'll break it down, right? Like, let's say you're listing products and you want to list 30 products, you get tired at the 19th. So you're like, all right, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to finish. That's what actually keeps you in the same fucking spot. Because, thanks, Denise. Thank you. That's what keeps you in the same spot. It's because most successful people, and I'm giving you guys things that I actually pay to learn, right? Like, I take people to dinner or buy them gifts and stuff, and then they'll, in return, have conversations with me, build connections, right? A lot of the times what I see is the people that actually get the success they want, when they say they're going to do something, they do it. And a lot of the times they'll do it before the deadline, right? So I had a guy, he works with T-Mobile, and me and him were working on closing a deal for this hospital. And I was waiting for this guy to finish his part of the deal. His part of the deal was to get it was like 500 phones, flip phones. And he was like, all right, I'm going to get the phones by the 5th. This guy he's not a millionaire, but he makes good amounts of money. So I already knew he was going to do it. The bull called me the next 2 hours and said, I got all the phones. I'm like, bro, you just told me you was going to do it. He's like, yeah, but as soon as I can do it, I'm going to do it. And like, that's the type of like mentality you need to have. And if you don't have that mentality, that's okay. Not everybody that wants $1 million has $1 million work ethic, right? But it's all about understanding that that's what you want to work towards. You want to work towards making sure that you have metrics, right? And it's kind of off topic, but it really is something a lot of people that want success, whether you're trying to resell products or whether you're trying to just start your own business in general, there's the shit that a lot of people don't have in them. A lot of people don't have this in them, and that's why they're just still trying to build businesses. A lot of people don't have a whiteboard that they could actually hold themselves accountable for. Like, oh, I need to do this, and this today. Oh, I need to make sure I do this amount of this thing, and if I don't do it, I gotta look at it and say, damn, why didn't I get it done? See, that's why a lot of people work for people, because not everybody is a boss, right? And sometimes you gotta mold yourself into being your own boss. People walk around, oh my God, I'm my own boss, but they don't do boss shit. They don't do boss shit. They don't take boss sacrifices. And they also don't get humiliated and fail like a boss. Because it ain't, being a boss ain't all about shits and giggles. That shit is very, very complicated when you got to look at other people looking at you as a failure because you made the wrong mistake or wrong choice. That's a fact. So if it sounds magical, it's probably expensive and useless. And that's a fact. Now, real sourcing is boring, and this is a fact. You get invoices, you buy the same products over and over, and it's the same margins. A lot of people don't even look at profit margins when they're listing products. How the hell are you selling products? And then I ask you, hey, bro, it's a nice ass product. What's your profit margin on it? Like, if I really like the product somebody is selling, I'm going to ask you, what's the profit margins on this looking like? I wouldn't even ask you how much it costs. So, like, that's the difference between, honestly, the propaganda we're seeing. And I think that that's where my content goes real unnoticed because I'm not into the sexy content. I'm into the real shit. And let me explain, right? Because a lot of people would like to think that, and this is where I want you guys to look at your favorite YouTubers or the digital product people and also the drop shippers, right? I want you to look at this. How many times or how many months is it always a different product being sold? You want to know why that matters? Let me explain to you why. Go to T-Mobile right now. They're selling the same damn screen protectors they were selling last month and the month before. Products probably would rotate and change quarterly. Because when you're a successful reseller, you're not selling new shit all the time. Because when you start selling new stuff, you start adding more risk. Let's look at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A barely adds new stuff to their menu, not because they can't, but because as a marketing tactic, but also to make the process consistently smooth for the customer journey and also the process in the order that they already have, keeping things uniform, keeping things simple, and also making sure you keep doing the same thing to get the same results is important. Look at Burger King. Burger King adds a different thing to the menu every goddamn second. Why? Because they are trying to reach a target market that is looking for cheap shit. They're looking for people that want cheap quality food and people that probably like the unpredictable approach that they have, right? But they also don't make that much compared to Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A isn't the best. They're not. But Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, places like that, you really have to start looking at how they do things because it really opens your eyes as an entrepreneur. Because look at it. Chick-fil-A, they may add a different drink every season, right? But not every month, right? McDonald's the same thing, but it's like all of these corporations that you see, you can also pinpoint behaviors that put them in that situation. But then when you look at creators or you're trying to soak in information from other people, they sell it a different course every goddamn month. They talking about top 10 products to sell every other 2 weeks. It's because in a content creator's mind, I got to push content. I got to push out content. So if I got to push out content, people will only watch me if the things that I say are different. I can't make the same repetitive video, right? I can't make the repetitive mistake of people being bored. Like, I'm live right now talking about money. I'm not talking about Nicki Minaj or talking about the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not talking about current events, right? So I'm not going to get the people that want to be entertained. I'll get some people that want to be informed. And I want you guys to start looking at it with your business in the same way, right? Like, all right, I'm trying to sell hair, right? If I'm trying to sell hair, I need to find the best hair on the market that I can get for the best profit margin and target my target audience, which would be either a person looking for low, high, or mid ticket products. Electronics. Bro, I've been selling the same electronics for 3 years. Same pods, 3 years. I'm not changing it because it don't need to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's a fact, because then if I start saying, oh man, you know what? These headphones are selling real well for me. All right, cool. all right, I just made 5K. I'm going to take that 5K and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to ditch these headphones and I'm going to do better. Right? So you go ahead, you ditch the headphones, you try to do better, and then you start realizing, fuck, like the grass wasn't greener. And that's when people start messing up and start going broke. Facts. That's a fact. Trends chase. All right. So trend chasing gets you banned. Now, this is a fact, and this is for the people that sell Prada cologne and Gucci glasses and a bunch of fake shit. Just because you see somebody doing it doesn't mean you should. That's what separates you from them. I use phone flipping, guys, because thank you for the follow. Thank you. Stay focused. I like it. Just like, and I'll explain it like this, right? I had a guy, he's an employee. He comes to me and he says, Brandon, I'm gonna start taking less hours because I'm working on this business. And everybody that I've ever worked with knows I love when you start your own business, bro. Don't let me hold you back. Right? So I said, how can I support? What is the business? The person says it's a waist trainer. This is a guy, okay? A guy that doesn't work out. When I go to the gym, he don't want to go. When I play ball, he don't want to play. So I know this person don't work out at all, right? So he like, yeah, it's a waist trainer. I said, how you selling a waist trainer and you don't even work out? He like, because it's selling, bro. I see everybody online is selling. Okay. So he tries to sell it. 6 months. And I knew it was going to fail. So I told him off the rip, because I'm an honest person. I said, that doesn't sound like it's going to work, but I support you, bro. You can even have a spot in the store to put your stuff up and have customers come in here and purchase it if you would like. Like I did everything I could, but I knew it was going to fail. 6 months, failed. He made a website, did everything, paid content creators. It failed. Why did it fail? Because, bro, you just trying to follow motherfuckers, but you selling some shit that don't even have nothing to do with you, bro. That was a horrible idea. A horrible idea. But a lot of people will follow others because they want to be successful so bad that they don't want to go through the failure. They don't want to go through the part where they got to actually find and discover themselves. You just trying to sell. I hate selling electronics. Hate it. I hate selling electronics. But I do it every single day. I hate shipping packages. I hate trying to find suppliers. I hate paying invoices. I hate sometimes going live. I hate creating content sometimes. I hate making YouTube videos. I do it because it works. And I also do it because I understand that in order for me to make the work that I've already done count, I got to do these things. You know what I mean? People are under the impression that like what you do, you got to love. That's not true. It's not true. What you do and love is a hobby. Sometimes you can make your hobby your income, but a lot of the times that shit get boring and it get frustrating and you start not liking it because you're doing it so much. And that's the truth. All right. What beginners should actually sell? Accessories, repeat products, platform-friendly items. Sell what's already trusted. And I think that is something that I've learned to do myself. And that's why I make a lot of money when I sell things that look like Apple products, right? MagSafe battery packs, pods, Maxes, all of these products, I sell a lot of them because they're already trusted. They already look like the real thing. But I do not promote it like it is. But we got a TV, a Samsung TV that costs $700 versus the $438 Walmart TV. Well, I'm going to look at that Samsung. I'll probably ask ChatGPT what's the difference between the two nowadays, right? But back in the day, people would just look at it and say, this don't look too different, right? And sometimes if you imitate what's already trusted, you'll find the right target market. Now, it's not everybody won't be drawn to you because there are people that want branded stuff. They want the best of the best. There are people that don't give a hell what they get. And then there's people that's mid. They'll wait to see if the knockoff one has similar quality. And they rather buy something that has similar quality and save a little bit rather than just go ahead and buy something just because of the brand. That's a fact. You got to figure out what your target market is. Where people mess up is cashing out too early. So you buying products that you don't have no business buying, and you know you don't have the work ethic to push. Scaling too fast, so you're making bread, but now you're opening or starting, and that's what this happened to me. You're in too many places at once. I started scaling. I opened one store, then I opened up another store, then I opened up another store, and I wasn't even ready to open up one store. Like, I wasn't even making bread to supplement the rent for the next store. But I'm like, well, if I'm getting some type of success, everybody got to see it, so I need to make moves. Right? And that's where a lot of resellers getting messed up, because it's like, well, I see people being successful. I need to show people I'm successful too. And that's when you end up becoming a puppet. You become a show instead of becoming a success, because you want people to see that you're successful rather than you be successful. Okay? And lastly, ignoring the rules. And people ignore rules all the time because rules don't necessarily need to be put in place sometimes, right? But let's make this clear. Sometimes that red light or that stop sign ain't for you. It's for the other person that can't drive. So just because you think that it's a rule that doesn't pertain to you doesn't mean you don't need to follow it. And lastly, most people quit right before the momentum kicks in. And a lot of y'all watching me right now did it. A lot of you guys quit right before you had your break. You know, I like to think of life like this. Life is one of them things where you can be on the right path, but it could be you getting in an argument with somebody and then you just shutting down. I've been in arguments before where I stopped working right when I was about to hit I was about to crush it. But I'm in an argument, so I'm too upset to get back to work. Or, oh, I want to go play ball, but I know I need to record this video. Shit, I'm going to just go ahead and play ball. Or, man, you know what? I'm too tired. I'm not opening the store today. The store going to stay closed. And then that's the day when your phone start ringing. Oh, you guys open? You guys open? So it's like sometimes you mentally tap out right before you finna see that success because you don't have no fucking discipline. And let me explain this, guys. A lot of us, including myself, we are sometimes result driven. So maybe the store was real empty on Monday, which stores are always empty on Mondays, right? And then on Tuesday, you like, man, ain't nobody finna come, bro. All right, I'm gonna end this day early. And I used to do this all the time, bro. And that'd be the day where you could have actually made enough to pay that rent all in one day. So don't quit. Always pivot and alter. And that's what I tell people. Like, don't just quit. Don't quit. I know things may seem hard right now. But whoever's watching this, if you're somebody that got a job that want to quit and you just, for some reason, you feel like, I want to quit, but I can't right now. What I'm trying to do as far as my extra income stream ain't fucking working. Fuck. Right? If you that person, don't quit. Figure out, one, how you can coexist with your job, because your job is a vehicle that's going to get you to where you want to be. Think about your job as being an investor into your dream, instead of thinking of a job being you just slaving away. Also, I'm talking to the person that may not have a job, but they may be all into their business. You all in, bro. You don't care if you're going broke or not, right? And this is the type of person I am. I'm all into my business, no matter what the circumstances are. But see, here's the problem. Right before you quit because you ain't making no money, hold yourself accountable and realize that the reason you ain't making no money is because you are not good enough. Because you're not putting in the effort, because you're actually giving half-ass effort thinking that you're going to get full response from, to be completely honest, bare minimum. A lot of us give bare minimum and expect more in return. The only thing you did today to work on your business was get on the computer. The only thing you did today, when you first woke up, all you did was get on the phone and look at other people live out their motherfucking dreams. The only thing you did when you woke up today is you did the bare minimum, bro. Like, you just did what you could instead of doing better. All right, yesterday I woke up. I slept 30 minutes before I was supposed to get up. All right, cool. Fuck that. I ain't doing that today. Boom. All right, I got up on time. Cool. Now, what did I not do yesterday? All right, I didn't plan my day. All right, let me plan my day. I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. All right, cool. How many tasks did I actually do yesterday? All right, I did 2 out of 8. Okay. All right. Today I'm gonna do 8 out of 8. No excuses. Hey, Brandon, you wanna go out for drinks? No. Hey, Brandon, you want to play the game? No. Hey, Brandon, you want to go to the gym? No. I'm locked the fuck in. Hey, you want to go on this trip? No. I'm locked the fuck in. Like, sometimes you got to really realize that before you quit, hold yourself accountable for the fact that you're not doing the shit you should be. It's never the business that's not working. It's always you. Always. Always. I know it sounds kind of harsh and sometimes contradicting, but it's not. Your first 1,000 isn't about scaling. And that's a fact, because 1,000 ain't shit. But 1,000 from making $1,000, I'm going to tell you it's powerful. Making $1,000 from shit that you actually create or from products that you're actually investing in is beautiful. Let alone 10,000, 50,000. When you talk about 100,000, that's scaling. There's a bunch of people that make six figures a year. I make six figures a year, but it don't seem like I make six figures a year, because when you make six figures a year, it does not make you rich. It does not make it to, oh my God, no, because you got to also think how much you buy in inventory, how much you pay for outsourcing, how much you pay for expenses to get the products where they need to go, and then also how much you take home versus how much you put in your business. And I went on a guy's trip probably with a lot of entrepreneurs where it was an argument. It was an argument, a really big argument. It was two guys and they were arguing. Now, we all own businesses, but this person that is arguing is one guy that owns a really good, successful business, and it's another guy that just started a business. So the guy that has a successful business, he said to the guy, he's like, bro, I'm not arguing with you, bro. I make six figures a year. What I look like arguing with you? And then the guy that doesn't make the six figures a year, he was upset. He was like, man, what you trying to say? And start trying to fight. See, people get insecure about how much they make a year, but then they don't realize that that person that makes that amount a year, one, they got to pay more taxes if they're not tax savvy and don't have an accountant. But two, they ain't talking about their expenses, bro. This person is talking about how much they made, how much the business made, right? So your first $1,000 matters. Fuck 1,000 a month. No, just first 1,000 in general. If you can make $1,000 without having to work for somebody, you're powerful. Once you see it working, you're going to stop doubting yourself. But most importantly, once you make $100 yourself, just know that all you got to do is duplicate that input to get the output. But, and people don't know it's that simple. Like, if I make $10 today, whatever I input to make that $10, I need to double that input to get double that output. And to some people, it doesn't seem true, but it actually is. But here's where you got to realize that sometimes, and when I say input, I'm talking about like putting to work, okay? Sometimes, let's say I got this this CarMax, right? And I sold 100 CarMax and I made $100. Okay. So in theory, all I need to do is buy 200 and I make $200, right? The problem is, and this is where people get fucked up. That is true, but I can't sell 200 CarMaxes in the same place now. Maybe I need to go and do 2 more flea markets or open up a Poshmark account, Mercari, and an eBay. Like, sometimes, yeah, you can input more and get more output, but the more you input, the more work you got to do. Maybe you got to alter, you got to nurture a different type of target market. It's very simple when you realize that making more money requires more work. The more money you make, the more problems you have. That is actually true. I've been the happiest when I've been the brokest. That's a fact. right, y'all. Hold on. I know I'm loud. I'm sorry, TikTok. I'm doing something for YouTube. I saw that it started messing up. But a lot of us, I'm working on this camera, y'all. I don't know what I just did. We don't understand that in order to be great, greatness requires us to do different things sometimes. I don't know what just happened. It just requires us to do different things. And sometimes we're not willing to do those different things. Sometimes those small things that we got to do count and matter the most. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what just happened. But anyway, here we're going to talk about the roadmap, right? So what's the roadmap to actually being able to get to this point? You know, it's really funny, right? Because there we go. I'm the type of person, and I find that I'm kind of unique in a sense that like I never want anybody to outwork me, but people do outwork me. But like if I see somebody going to work, literally, I can look out the window. This is a fact. I could be trying to play a game with my friends or trying to go to the gym or something, right? But if I see somebody about to go to work, literally, in my head I think, damn, I gotta get to work. And I think people like that are unique because you hold yourself to a standard that is always moved by pressure around you. So when the pressure comes, you're already used to it. And sometimes that happens because you're so freaking scared of being broke again. I think that's good and it could be bad, right? The real roadmap is you want to clean your inventory or have clean inventory, safe listings, fast shipping, reinvest in profits. I think if I was anybody trying to start a business right now, just a business, any business, it could be a hair business, any business. The first thing I got to do is ask myself if people want it. You got to create an avatar. Right now, I want you guys to think to yourself, who is that perfect person that's going to buy those products from you or buy that service from you? Like me, who is the person that would buy products from me? The person that would probably buy products from me would be somebody that, and I don't want to think about it in a wholesale aspect. I want to think about it in a real business to business. I don't want to talk about wesply.com, which is my wholesale website. I want to talk about me as like just a regular store, right? So the type of customer I want to attract is the customer that wants to spend money, but doesn't want to. I want the type of customer that wants to spend money on products that don't come with the hype, just the quality. I'm attacking a mid adapter. And what a mid adapter is, so you have, and I talk about this a lot, but I'm going to keep reminding you, you have a late adapter, mid adapter, early adapter. And it's interesting because I watch a lot of videos of my competition and people in general talk about how to sell digital products, how to sell physical products, how to drop shit, but nobody talks about target market. Nobody talks about target acquisition. Nobody talks about how you actually get shit sold. How the fuck do you teach people stuff, but don't teach them how to get the stuff sold, right? So a late adapter is going to be somebody that waits until they see the other people buying it, right? So I'll give you a really good example. Usually old people are late adapters. You know that person that still got the iPhone 7, right? Like that type of person. Like they still got the old ass phone because it still works. Then you got a mid adapter, which is going to be a person that only buys stuff when they see that it does do what it's advertised. Okay? So that's the type of person that won't get the iPhone 17 until they see that it does something different than the 16. They won't buy that car until they see that it doesn't break down for a certain amount of months for people that already brought it. And then the early adapter is the person that needs to get that product first. The person's like, no, I need that. Like, oh my God, like that car coming out, I need it, I love it, I want it, I gotta have it. I don't want that person. See, here's the difference. The early adapters are high chargeback people, right? So what they do, they buy from impulse. So when you go up to a register, when you go to Forever 21, H&M, when you go to Walmart, Publix, Whole Foods, you'll always see products in the front, right? Those products are impulse buys. Those are the socks, the accessories, the CarMax, the candy. Those are impulse buys, and they already know the type of target market for those are the early adapters. That's why you put it near the register. You put it near the register because it's going to be the idiots that don't want to look through the aisles for the stuff. Instead, they just want it right there, right then. So those are for early adapters. But for the mid adapters, right? And they don't think about it. Like they just buy. They don't think. They'll just buy it, right? And see, I don't like selling the early adapters because they buy off an impulse and then they have buyer's remorse. And when they have buyer's remorse, it costs you money in the end, right? That's an issue. And how does it cost you money? Chargebacks, or you having to give refunds, or even just having to like try and supplement, right? Like, oh, yes, miss, how are you? I am the manager. Well, I'm not happy with this case because the case, it's black. I thought it was going to be clear. Okay, ma'am. You do know that you brought it and it was a picture of a clear case. The way I saw it. All right, listen. What I'll do is I'll throw in a screen protector for you. Like you have to find yourself trying to overextend to make early adapters happy because they don't buy from logic. They buy just from emotion. Okay. But early adapters you'll make the most money from. Okay. Mid adapters are going to be the people that you want to target because they actually got to think about the order. And when they're not happy with the order, they hold themselves accountable. I want that to stick. Mid adapters hold themselves accountable when they buy products, and they be like, you ever buy something and you like, man, I knew I shouldn't have brought this motherfucking pen. 5 cents. I knew this pen was gonna be trash, bro. Man, all right, whatever. Like, you ever buy something from Temu and you like, man, I knew it wasn't that big. I knew it wasn't as big as I thought it was. I should have knew it was a miniature picture. I should have knew it was a miniature towel and I thought it was a whole like, you have to hold yourself accountable. Mid adapters do that. That's why I target mid adapters, because when you buy something, you are actually thinking of it in a logical form, and when you aren't happy, you still do hold yourself accountable when needed. Now, a late adapter is also a good person, but they're not people that'll keep your lights on. So a late adapter is going to be a person where, yeah, they'll buy from logic, but they buy too slow, right? Jay, thank you for the follow. They buy too slow. So they'll be the type of people where I'm gonna use phones, okay? So, oh yeah, the new iPhone 17 came out. Cool. Well, I got my 7. I got my 8. My 8 cool. My 8 cool, Brandon. I don't need the 17. All right, I got you. And then you got to sit around and wait for the whole damn phone to fall apart for them to buy. But they'll buy it. They just got to have a reason. You want to know a good example? Apple, making people's batteries drain by pushing out updates. The reason they do that is not because they're malicious and they are evil. They do it because they know some of their consumers are late adapters that are milking the devices. Number one, I need those devices to be traded in because I need to recycle them so we can have more material for less cost. Number two, I don't need people walking around with iPhone 8s and 7s because then people are going to be inclined to buying those lower models and knowing that they can buy them for $50 instead of buying my $700 phone. So for business, I need to pump out updates. I got to drain these batteries, and I got to do it discreet because if people find out, oh my God, they're going to sue us up the ass. But we got to find a way to get these late adapters to upgrade. Late adapters cost you money because while you're trying to build your business, they're trying to save bread. Facts. So I don't really ever target late adapters because they're great customers, but they don't buy a lot. They don't buy a lot. Okay? Now, moving forward, freestyling gets you punished, structure wins. This is the biggest thing I see successful people do and failures don't. So, you could tell a successful person, and when I say successful, I'm not even talking about business. I'm talking about life. You got some people that walk around and they got money in their pocket, they got a job, they got their happiness, and they good, right? But they're boring as hell. Like, and it took me until I got in my late 20s to realize my whole insight on people is fucked up. I used to hate people that actually had routines. I used to tell people, you got a routine? Bro, you messing up, bro. I don't live life through a routine or with a routine. Having a routine is dumb. That's what I used to say. But then you want to know what I started realizing? The people that got routines also have more time to think about the next move. Why? Because if you got a routine that every day you come home and then you go and do 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups and then you go eat and da-da-da, you don't got to think about those simple things. So you have more time to think about, okay, after my routine, how am I going to make myself better? So what I've realized is the people that have structure actually end up building themselves for success because they start building certain details and times in their lives, and also discipline, right? Because you have to have discipline to have a structure, right? Some people, the reason you failing is because you ain't holding yourself accountable. You saying, oh, I'm going to go to work at this time and I'm going to come home and I'm going to do this, but you don't do it. And then like, yeah, you might not have somebody that care about you to say, oh man, you fucking up. But what ends up happening is you know that you fucking up. And then when you lay your head on that pillow at night, you got to answer for the fuck up. You do. You got to answer yourself, damn, I know I ain't pay that car note. Now I got the bread to pay the car note, but now they finna tow it and I'm 2 months behind. Man, I knew I should have paid them parking tickets. I told myself I was going to pay that ticket. Like I told myself I was going to pay the ticket on the 5th. The 5th came, I didn't pay the ticket. Now the ticket, $124. The ticket was only $10. Come on, B. No structure. And when you don't have no structure, you don't have no discipline. When you don't have no discipline, you don't have any accountability. And when you don't have accountability, you don't care about yourself. A person that is not accountable, a person that doesn't hold themselves to a standard, doesn't care about themselves. And if you don't care about yourself, why the fuck would somebody care about your business? That's a fact, right? Why? Why? It's no point. Like that's why, you know, when people be like, oh, I'm a part of your community, Brandon, and I want to do a call, and we do a call, right? and this is why I make my community $27. This is why I don't make it like $100. Cause what the fuck I'm finna do in the community, bro? I'm not doing. If I'm gonna have a community and I'm gonna charge you bread, I gotta make sure that the money you're paying me, you can make back, right? Especially in the field where I'm at, right? Like, I gotta make sure you can make this bread back. I'll take 27 and you make 97. I'm good. But here's the difference. People start cheating themselves and then expecting you to like bring them back in. My daughter came in this room today and my daughter told me, she said, such and such pushed me. This girl pushed me, Dad. I looked at her, I said, what did you do? She said, nothing. I said, oh. So what you want me to do? And she got upset. And it reminded me of how some people be like, yo, I'm not making no money. This is just isn't working for me. Well, what are you doing about it? Complaining. That girl pushed you. You didn't push her back. Then I said, why did you push her back? I was going to get in trouble. I said, no, because I told you if somebody touches you and the teacher doesn't do anything about it, you touch them back. You push them back. You wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But you want to know why she said that? Because it's easier to complain and then make an excuse than it is to complain and then say, fuck, you know what? That actually happened because I ain't do what the fuck I was supposed to do. So everybody out there right now that's like, yo, I'm not making no money. I'm stuck at my job. I'm not liking how my life is. Sometimes you got to hold yourself accountable for letting your past, for letting the stuff that you aren't doing, for letting your results. Sometimes you got to hold yourself accountable for all of that. It ain't nobody else's job for the fact that you feel like a failure. If you feel like a failure, you feel like a failure because you probably are a failure to yourself because you know for a fact the shit that no one else knows. You know the times when you were sitting in a room by yourself, crying your damn eyes out, talking about, God, I just need a break. God, I just need a chance. I just need this. And then you didn't do nothing with it. You ain't do shit with it. You hopped on TikTok and Instagram and you started living through other people, taking other people's advice. And then, see, another thing, a lot of people will try to become other people. You got some people out there that, hey, I'll teach you how to do this. Person taught you how to do something that ain't even for you. They done taught you how to do some shit you don't even know how to do, nor do you have the balls to keep going and doing. It's a difference. It's a difference. And to be honest, guys, I love what I do. I do. And the only reason I love what I do is because even when I don't get the success that I want, I always remember two things. I remember what my goal is, and I remember how it felt when I got something done. Like, let's say I didn't get no money today. I ain't sell no product. First, I remember I don't want my daughter to ever have to work for anybody. So my goal is to be able to build something to where she can be financially stable, make her choices without pressure. And then the next thing I think about is, damn, it felt so good when I sold my last product. I want that feeling. How can I make it happen? Whenever things aren't going your way, realize that that's how it's supposed to be. If everything went your way, the shit would get boring. I think the biggest thing I love about being an entrepreneur, a real one, like somebody that really do this shit for a living, like somebody that really wake up, don't even need to get on the internet to make money, like somebody that actually sits there, busts their ass, no excuses, holds themselves accountable, makes mistakes, fucks up, but still gets the fuck up and wakes up every day with a new challenge. And the challenges are not always pretty. The challenges are not always good. They're not always easy to figure out. But that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, is realizing that shit is going to go bad. And sometimes the shit that goes bad, you can't even get your ass out of because you don't even know how to wiggle out of that motherfucker. But it's the fact that you have a chance every day you wake up to make shit better. You have a chance. You just got to actually be willing to take that chance. And a lot of us ain't willing to take that chance, bro. A lot of us ain't willing to actually tighten the fuck up and do better. A lot of us ain't. Like the people watching me right now, I think that it says a lot about you to be watching me right now at 11:20, right? And I think that a lot of people watch because they have similar interests and also may be able to relate. But what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Because I'm guaranteeing you somebody is watching you. Somebody is dependent on you. So what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You gonna let the motherfuckers that's dependent on you down because you didn't want to tighten the fuck up, or you gonna figure it out and you gonna actually do better? I think that's really where, the motivation comes from, bro. I may not be successful my whole entire life. I may become a failure. I've already came to that realization that there could be things in my life where I fail and do not be able to crawl myself out of, or do not be able to make excuses for. I might die without hitting my goal. You might die without hitting your goal. But let me ask you a question. What do you want people to think about you as when you are a failure? Do you want people to think this person failed and then quit and did this, that, and the third? Like, this person failed, but he went and he got a nice job, became a manager at Target. Or this motherfucker failed, bro, but he ain't stopped. He kept trying. And no job, man. Damn machine. Listen. Looking up parts to get this fixed. Yes, sir. Yo, and Eli, you want to know what you just said? You going through that struggle, and then you said something that I really, really like. You said, and I'm up looking for parts to get this fixed. And I take what you're saying kind of serious, bro. You said, and I'm gonna read it. I'm watching because I'm sleeping in my car with a damaged transmission, no job. Let me tell you something. Number one, right now is probably one of the most important times of your life. I know how it feels to be homeless, right? As I'm sure a lot of people. I don't feel sad for you. Now, I want to make this clear, Eli. I don't feel sad for you because I don't want this to become a sad story, right? I don't feel sad for you. I actually feel happy for you. Let me explain. So in 2017, I was sleeping in my car, right? But I had a store. I had a girlfriend. I had a kid on the way. I felt unappreciated. I felt unloved. I was told I was nothing. And I remember it. Let me tell you what I did, Eli. So I took my car and nice car, very nice car. Okay. Took my car, drove right in front of my grandmother's house. And I had a blaster on me at the time, right? So I took that blaster and I said to myself, I ain't worth nothing. Nobody care about me. I'm by myself in my car right now. Ain't nobody checking on me. So I said, you know what? I'm finna end this shit, right? So I Googled, I wanna you know what, right? And then all this stuff started popping up about like, oh, help lines and all this stuff. But then, this is a true story. But then, like one of the links, it was a like a therapist type of little like article or whatever, and it said if you're at this point, you're looking this up because you don't really want to do what you think you want to do. And I was like, yo, I do want to do what I think I want to do. I do want to do what I think I want to do, but I'm kind of scared, right? And at the time I had a lot of trauma with my mom that I ain't get over or whatever. So I started to like look up certain things, and I took a whole year of therapy. It took me out of that dark place somewhat. I'm still in that dark place currently, because I have times where I revert back, right? But the point I'm making is, if I wasn't sleeping in that car at that time, I wouldn't have made the moves that I made to actually start my business again, because at that time I had just failed and lost my store with a nice ass car that I needed to pay the note for, and a family that I didn't have a lot of money to provide for at the time because I needed to figure out how to start another business. So what I want to say, bro, nobody coming to save you but you. And I like the fact that you said you looking for the parts. You gonna get this motherfucking shit fixed, and that's a fact. But the point of the matter is right now you're struggling and you're putting you in this situation because you need to be better. Something is telling you you got to be better. You got to do better. You got to sacrifice more. And the only way that it's going to happen is by you being in your car with a bad transmission with no job. Because it's not about the job that's going to fix you. The job isn't going to fix you. Maybe you do need to get a job for right now, but the job ain't going to help you unless you understand the main lesson. And the main lesson you already should be knowing right now. The main lesson, I can't tell you what it is because I don't know you, but I will say the main lesson is that something you've done, something that is in you, isn't good enough for you to get to that level that you're meant to be on. But the point of the matter is you have to be homeless. You got to be struggling with a bad transmission where you can't run away because you need to fucking tighten the fuck up and you need to get to wherever you need to go by learning this lesson that you need to learn. And I can't pinpoint what the lesson is, obviously, and I don't want to become motivational and all that shit, but I'm just saying when I was put in that position, bro, and I'm sort of kind of always put in a situation where I'm like, damn, bro, you're taking everything from me. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do, but those are the best fucking times because when everything is taken from you, you start realizing that it was never the things that you had that made you who you were. And a lot of the times when everything is being taken from you, it's being taken from you because you can't bring that shit to where you're about to go, and that's a fact. So, yeah, I struggled, bro. I've been homeless. I didn't wanted to do things. I didn't I lost a lot of things and people that I love and people betrayed me and I betrayed myself and I've made bad mistakes and I felt like people made bad mistakes to me. But every time and every detail of those circumstances has always made me a better motherfucking person. I used to be a monster when it came to my decisions, especially with business. I used to be a dickhead. But then what I started to realize is like you need to go through losing things and losing people because you don't know how to act. You don't know how to make the right decisions. And then you start realizing, bro, I got to be a better person. I got to make better choices because it ain't about me. I've got way too much skill to be this broke. I want you to remember that, bro. I got way too much skill to be this broke. This is what, because I'm being honest with you guys, right? This is my home screen, okay? It won't show. Hold on. This is my home screen. In my home screen, I got a quote. And I look at this quote every day. It says, so when people betray you, disappear, or disrespect you, it's reflecting your own shift in self-worth and awareness. You're outgrowing environments where your peace used to fit. It's the mirror showing you're done being the version of yourself that tolerates this. That's not weakness, that's transformation. And I have this here because I've been put in situations where it doesn't make sense to me. And it's a mirror of what you are. So I'm homeless, okay. Why? Well, maybe I'm homeless because I don't know where I belong. And I'm also not making sure that I'm maintaining and using my tool belt, the tools I have to find a place to be that I can use these talents. You know, after that story I told you guys where I wanted to do something and I was in the car and everything, I moved. I went to California. I met a bunch of celebrities and people and I had a blast. I was running away from my problems. I ran far the fuck away. Right? But you want to know something? Every night I cried, bro. Every night I cried. And I cried every night because no matter how far I ran, no matter how good I hid, bro, I always had to like realize like, bro, just because I'm doing this and I'm here and I'm there don't make me happy because me being happy is me being better and this ain't making me that. Something to think about, but I'm proud of you. I am. Because it ain't easy. It ain't. but we all have a choice to do better or stay in the position we're in. Been in PA my whole life. Thought of moving to Tennessee, but like you said, it won't change. I've been in PA. I've been in Philly for 10 years now, like 11 years now. Now, I was raised in Philly, but my mom moved me to Jersey for education, and I played ball and all of that. But I'm going to tell you something, yeah. I got a lot of friends I talk to on a daily basis. They're like, yo, bro, let's move. Nah, bro. Okay. Yeah, I'm from Mount Airy, but it's like a lot of people, they think that moving makes a difference. But moving and running, it only creates temporary relief sometimes. I ain't gonna say not shit don't get better. It seemed like it, but the shit don't get better, bro. It don't. And that's why, bro, you just gotta be true to yourself no matter how long it take you to grow. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of this shit, man. That's the beauty in this. Cause it's hard, bro. It's hard to be yourself and actually be honest and true to who you are, bro. Because a lot of people, they rather just become what people want them to be instead of being who the fuck they know for a fact they need to get to where they need to get to. You feel me? Jackie, thank you. Eli, thank you. Denise, thank you. Thank you all for joining me, man. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys tap in and join more of my lives. I'm about to get off because I do got to get up early, but nah, seriously, yeah, exactly. All truths, bro. But it was good talking to you, man. And I hope to keep talking to you and seeing you. God bless you as well. And remember this, man. This is the best part. You ready? This is the best part, Eli. You ready? Denise, thank you for the follow. This is the best part. I used to go through this. You ready? So the best part, Eli, is that I'm about to get off live right now. And then when I get off of live, that's when you're alone. And yeah, you could watch another person, another creator, but like when you turn that phone off, that's when it's the best part because that's when you have to sit with your own thoughts. And like that's the scary part. I didn't spend hours in rooms by myself where I just wanted to leave. So I just say this. Embrace the parts when you actually got to answer to yourself why you're where you're at. And also embrace those parts that actually explaining to yourself that you're going to do better. But don't just explain, map it out. Build those plans. And then also remember where you at so that you don't go there ever again. Ain't nobody here for you. Nobody going to help you but you. Love y'all, man. Thank you all, everyone, for tapping in. I appreciate it. And then, yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, man. I'm going to try to start working on going live more. Man, I'll be trying to get used to this TikTok stuff. TikTok crazy. People be live every day and all of that, and I just be trying to, like, get in where I fit in. But thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later, man. Peace. All right, YouTube. I will see y'all later as well, man. I love y'all. And again, man, make sure you guys continue to grow, man, build, and most importantly, be honest with yourself, bro. Be honest with yourself. And it was a good conversation. Really good conversation. As always, man, let me know what you guys want to hear next. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.